After 18 months on the road, we decided to upgrade our Caravan.
And we chose this one here. 6 months later, there's a few things that we didn't really expect.
Our trusty little pop-top Jayco took us to some incredible places.
Yep.
But after we decided that this was going to be our life for the foreseeable future, we decided we wanted to upgrade to something that was a little bit more purpose fit for our family.
Yep.
I think having a full height van for one thing is one thing that we really needed. Better off-road capability as well, I think.
Yep.
Something that was important.
Definitely better ground clearance, I'd say.
Something that was a little sturdier as well. Australian made was also something that we were looking for.
Yeah.
And just a little bit more space, really, I think.
Yeah, I think although the Jayco did a fantastic job, as Ash was just saying, and got us to some amazing places, it did require quite a lot of upkeep in repairing little things all the time, like things like screws rattling loose, seals going on it, things like that. So with this one, considering we were going to be permanently living in there for a lot longer period of time, we kind of wanted to get those things right and just keep things as simple as they could possibly be on the road. Obviously, with the full height as well, like having a full height van means quicker setup, quicker pack up, like.
No stops mid journey making lunch like this.
Yeah.
Walking around the van without the roof popped.
Cramped over like that. And yeah, just something that would basically go anywhere that our skills would take us, I guess, without as much worry about something breaking down and leaving us stranded on the side of the road. I guess that was kind of the point. We did so much research, like as probably most people in our situations have been, when you're looking to kind of invest a solid amount of money in something like this, like there's quite a lot of stress involved with making sure you make the right decisions. So we basically cut our list down to probably about 5 caravan manufacturers, and then even like more purposely went over reviews and basically took in any kind of information that we could take in for the remaining 5, and Vibe came out on top for us. So obviously with such high expectations, quite a big outlay of costs, the question comes back to, was it worth all this? Like, do we regret making this purchase? Has it lived up to our expectations? What do you reckon?
I think it has, for sure. I think it's made our life, when you're moving around a lot, there are the routine of, the setup and the pack up.
Yep.
There are things in this van that make that so much faster and so much easier and like arguably safer.
Yeah,
I
for sure.
would say. So just purely for the fact that when we move around,
yep,
our hitch and unhitch, pack up and setup is, I reckon, halved in time.
It just feels less stressful, I would say. Just because it's
yeah.
so much easier, it feels less stressful, and it makes like moving day like not such a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, there's still things that you have to check off your mental list.
Yeah.
But it just feels easier, which is incredible, especially when it's such a big part of your life when you live on the road.
I think 2 additions that we added to this Caravan, which would 100% go on the next one too, because they really add into what we're talking about here, is their airbags for leveling the van and the Blackjack electric jockey wheel. Like those 2 additions, honestly, if you're building a new van, for me, it's like a no-brainer. If you can factor it in with weights and costing and everything like that, it just makes everything so much easier.
Yeah,
like
sure.
imagine going back to not having that now.
I won't. I shan't.
There's some things like you could go back, but for us, for those, definitely not. Personally, for me, like I found, like obviously with the full height and the little bit bigger, feels like there's more space. It feels like more of a home now.
Yeah.
Everything inside it has more of a clear place. I feel like any kind of longing I had for a house with the Jayco, it's gone now. Like this feels like our home.
It feels like our home.
It feels chilled out inside, as chilled out as the 19.5-foot space can with 2 kids.
And 2 dogs.
But it really does. Like it feels relaxing at night. Sleep is great. The comfort side of things.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think the spaces, and especially the layout. So with the rear, the kids have like their section at the back.
Yeah.
And I think that's really been great for our kids because they do kind of crave a little bit of separate time as well. So that's been really amazing.
Yeah, having the bunks right down the rear and the kind of toilet in between, it kind of segregates and it makes it almost feels like it's got separate rooms inside the caravan.
Yeah.
So
I
really, really like that. But yeah, overall, I reckon it has met our expectations and exceeded them, I would say.
For sure. I think one of the things that was definitely a bit of a risk was us not having any gas cooking as well. So we've got 100% electrical setup. We don't have any gas on board.
Yep.
So I think that was probably the biggest risk that we took, I think.
Yeah, I would say, obviously with the last van, like we did rely on gas quite a lot. Yeah. So obviously, like as you would expect, there are limitations with 100% electrical system, which we have found out. But I feel like we've kind of worked around those limitations. And I think that if we build another van, we'll go the same again because I think that the downsides are really worth dealing with.
I mean, it's just about keeping an eye on it, really. It's just about management, which you have to do when you're off grid anyway. You have to manage, you have to check your batteries. Like you have to see your levels all the time. So
look, I think we'll do like a separate video on this at some stage because it is something we get asked about quite a lot, is the 100% electrical system. But we basically find if we're out in good sun, like with our 1550 watts of solar, like out in the open, you don't even have to worry about it at all. No. Like there's never any issue. Our kind of issue is we really love going to places like the Victorian High Country and there's not a lot of open sun space there. So like that's when we have found some challenges with it, but we've been able to get by, and particularly with the Troopy, with a good electrical system in there, we can use that kind of in conjunction and take the burden off the caravan on certain days and just let it replenish back up. But yeah, it's been fantastic, I would say.
Yeah. So with anything, there are a few, I wouldn't even call them negatives, but there's just things that
maybe trade-offs, I guess.
Trade-offs, things that we've had to get used to. The biggest one, mind the pun, is the size.
Yeah.
We went from a 17-foot pop top to a 19.6 foot full height. So the width and the height was something that took us a little bit to get used to, and also made we have a tendency to kind of gung-ho down tracks, and we had to be a lot more cautious, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, I don't think, but it's just something that took us a little bit of time to get used to.
Yeah, and obviously with something so much more expensive than the previous Caravan, like it really hurts if you get scratches on it. Yeah. So that was something to get used to at the start, and as we've spoken about in another video, that is why we PPF wrapped the thing, because we got a few scratches and it hurt our feelings big time. So, yeah, but basically the size, like we've definitely found, you know, in some of those high country areas where lower lying branches, tighter tracks, tighter places to park up where you're actually going to camp. Like we've managed to make everything work. It's just sometimes taken a little bit more thought, and I found we're more willing to kind of recon scout a track without the van than what we were previously in the past, because obviously there's a lot more risk with taking the van down there with getting yourself into trouble. So we just had to be a bit more careful with how we plan things out, and to make smart decisions, really.
Yeah.
But as per anything, when you live in it for over 6 months, honestly, I reckon we're pushing 8 months now. We've lived in this van full time. Like, things are going to break. So we thought that that's probably one thing that we should touch on, because I guess the expectation is when you use the van properly, and we have been using the van properly, like we've been towing it up four-wheel drive tracks, there are going to be some things that have broken. We might run through those things now and see what you guys reckon. Do you reckon it's fair enough? So I guess we'll go with the first one. This happened the other week. So I was literally opening up the 240 volt cover over on the off side of the van to plug in at a powered spot, and the cover snapped off. So plastic's been sitting out in the sun, pretty minor thing, but we kind of want to touch on everything that has broken on the van in that time. Your favourite one now?
The door latch for the solid door.
Yep.
We've broken 2 of those thus far. And again, I think that could be user error for sure.
Oh, particularly with the kids, like
because there's a tunnel boot that opens, and if you don't catch, and the kids are bad for this, they don't catch the door before it flings down. So yeah, we've busted a couple of those latches, both not very expensive to replace.
No, not at all. And anyone that's lived with kids in a caravan knows how they just have a tendency just to slam the door every single time. So surprisingly, our door has not broken yet, which I've expected, because it has copped an absolute flogging. So the third thing that is broken on the van was the drawer runner for the drawer underneath the fridge. And we are pretty much certain that once again was user error from us not locking it in. These are obviously all very minor things, but we wanted to be like transparent with like what is actually broken on the van. To us, we're stoked with this outcome. Like, it's so much better than we could have expected. Like, when you take things up tracks like we have, you live in it permanently. So everything in there is just getting constant use.
Yeah.
We're so happy with the outcome of that. Like, what do you guys reckon? Would you be happy with that with your brand new van? Yeah, we just wanted to tell you guys like everything that's actually happened in this van. But apart from those tiny little things, I reckon nearly everything is looking pretty much brand new on there. Like, you know, there's a little bit, it probably needs a bit more of a clean and things like that.
Yeah, she's still a little dusty from
down the high country. But honestly, you could clean this thing up now, and it would look brand spanking new, I would say.
It's just a solid unit, you know?
Yep.
It just is like I haven't had to tighten any screws, which is pretty bad.
Anyone that's watched our like older videos with the Jayco,
I used to walk into the Jayco holding a screwdriver, like after we'd driven up not even corrugated tracks, just any track. Any track.
So it's just it's a completely different thing to compare to. So as it should be, because it's a lot bigger investment. But you don't always hear outcomes like this when you speak to people that have new caravans. So like on the road, we've heard some bloody horror stories. So
for sure, yeah, and we're really just super stoked with the van.
I'll give you one example of how good the service is. So I think it was over the Christmas period, we were having issues we've got a full Victron electrical system in the caravan, and basically found when we were hooking onto mains, it wasn't charging until it hit down a certain level. And basically what we worked out is it just needed a software update. This is at the period of time where Jed and the rest of the Vibe team were on holidays. I managed to get hold of Jed, and he didn't make any promises, but he managed to express post out a dongle that I could use to upgrade the Victron system, update the software in there. Literally was to my brother and sister-in-law's, like by the next week, we were able to get instructions of how to update it. Problem solved, completely solved. Like, that's the kind of service, and that is what we'd heard about Vibe, and that's why we chose them. Hey,
yeah, and that's, you know, we have experienced that. You know, like any of the issues that we have had have been relatively minor, but they're taken on board and taken seriously, and they're not ignored or brushed off, which is really important when you're investing this much money into anything, really.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess the question kind of comes next of, would we build another van again with Vibe? And I'd say straight away 100%. Like I'd say we wouldn't really be interested in building one with anyone else. Like we're so stoked with the outcome of this, but there are definitely things that we would change if we did another build.
Things that we've learnt, for sure. I think like the colour is probably one of the biggest ones.
Yeah, so it's a stunning colour. It looks beautiful, looks great in footage and photos. It's super eye-catching. Like wherever we go, we get people talking about this caravan.
Yeah.
But the heat, being
dark.
a dark colour, it definitely holds the heat quite a lot. So I think that would probably be one thing we would change with the new one. Like it's definitely not like a deal breaker or anything.
No.
But I think just as you own things, you're always changing and adjusting like what you would do differently, I would say.
I feel like the heat inside the van is also from a couple of other things as well. The main one is we don't have any roof hatches except for over the shower.
Yep.
So we don't have anywhere to draw that
to really
air
escape out. I think from what I understand, having the whole roof covered in solar as well obviously contributes. It's not just the hatches, it's actually the solar on the
panels,
roof contributing to the heat factor. So there's that as well.
Yeah.
Luckily, we can run aircon off grids. So
yeah, it's not a biggie, but it's definitely something that we would consider if we were to do another build for sure.
So one other thing, with our Jayco, we had like a front window on there, and that wasn't the best experience because of how it was made, and it was always felt like a vulnerable piece of equipment on the front of the caravan.
Yeah, it felt like a point of weakness.
Yeah. So we decided not to get one with the Vibe. I think that if we were to do another build, we'd probably get one, I would say. Just the amount of airflow it lets in, like it gives you a whole different angle of airflow coming into the caravan, which would be super nice, particularly in really hot climates. So
yeah,
and that view as well, like the view's also nice.
It is nice. I used to like waking up and
the downside is like I really do like the soft wall over there and stuff. Like it makes it feel really cozy in the caravan without it. So that's the trade-off. Like you would lose that. So as anyone with caravan knows, there's always a trade-off. Like whatever you pick, there's a trade-off. Like you're missing out on something to gain something, basically.
For sure, yeah. And when we built this van, our biggest trade-off was to have the amount of solar that we've got on the roof. We had to get a smaller van than we possibly would have gone for because of weight.
And look, that being said, I wouldn't want to drop off solar from what we've experienced too. And we've got 600 amp hour battery. I definitely wouldn't want any less of that. So once again, like it is just something we would have to kind of work through. But I think maybe having a couple of hatches on the roof and the front window would make a pretty significant difference. And then obviously the color change, which we said as well. Probably one other thing that we've spoken about we would change, but once again, this is very weight dependent. So we're going into the trade-off again. But if we could go a fraction longer in the van, we would love to consider doing a quad bunk delete.
Yeah.
It would be a bit of a sacrifice because we'd lose the beds down the back, which we quite like.
Yeah.
But with the third kid coming very soon, the ability for the kids to sit up better in bed and stuff, I think would be very nice.
Yeah, I think so. Again, it's just one of those, it's a trade-off, right?
Yeah.
So, when you're building a tiny home, basically, you're not going to have every single luxury. So if we did do another build, it would definitely be something that we would consider.
Like it's something we would love to have a solid chat over with the guys at Vibe and kind of work out like what is the best way to go about it for us.
One of the great things when we were doing the build was how knowledgeable. I mean, I know that it's there. It's within their best interest to be. But they were really good with giving us guidelines as to be like, look, you guys have got this much towing capacity. We really think that you should go this size because of you know, all of the things, like the electrical setup and the solar. And
they're pretty open to doing whatever you want and like customizing to whatever you want, but they're also very open to telling you if it's a bit of a silly idea and it's not going to work properly within your limitations.
They give you a lot of guidance, which is amazing. Which is
that's what you need. Yeah, for sure. Because it's very easy, like to just get all these dreams in your head of like what you want in a caravan, but like a lot of people seem to forget it is a small home that you're towing behind your car. Yeah. So like there's always going to be limitations. Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that they were really great with us anyway.
For sure.
Yeah. So to wrap this up, we can 100% say that this van, this setup has made living on the road so much easier.
Yep.
It just makes it so much more manageable. I've had a lot of people actually ask me how they think we're going to go with a newborn in a caravan. And honestly, in this van, it is the least of my worries. We just have the organisation, we have the space, and I just think that I'm just not worried about it at all. And I think it's probably because of the ease of use of this van.
Yeah, it's definitely, I feel like it has marketably lowered stress on the road, living in a van full time for us. It's just made life that little bit easier where you're kind of not longing to be in a house. It's just like, this feels like home, which is, I guess when you set out and you buy a caravan, that's what you're looking for. Like you just want it to feel like home.
Yeah.
You park it wherever you want. You go to all the awesome places, and your home is there, and it feels like a home.
I think I would struggle to adjust to going back into a house.
Yep.
I can be in the bathroom and the kitchen within like a step of each other. So, but the ability to multitask is like so good.
So overall, guys, we're stoked with this van. Like, it has done a fantastic job. We, as we kind of went through here, you can see why we're stoked about it. Stoked with the job that Vibe has done on it. If you guys have any questions, please drop them in the comments below. Like, we can go into anything in more detail. Send us a DM, Instagram. Always happy to chat. If you want to know more info about our caravan or just the Vibe in general, like we can chat about that. So. Hope you guys take some value out of this video and you enjoyed it. We definitely like talking about the caravan. So actually, we're going to start doing a series soon where we chat about kind of some caravan topics that people have kind of asked us over and over again. I'm talking things like 100% electrical system, what it's like, composting toilet. Any extra ideas that you guys have that you'd like to see us chat about, please drop them in the comment below and we will do our best to make a video happen. I'm talking like 5 to 10 minute videos, keep it nice, short, sweet, to the point, and kind of give our experiences on those topics.
Yep.
Hope everyone's doing really well. See you, legends.